This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Python Patrol Cobra Vypra figure. She is a Target exclusive, as most Python Patrol figures have been. We got some really nice artwork on the side here with her wearing a skull helmet. And some product shots in the back. Now looking at her, she looks much like the Blue Ninjas from Cobra, which of course is also a reuse of the Akiko body from the Snake Eyes Origins movie figure. Now, Vypra has kind of an interesting past, I guess, character-wise. Her first appearance as a G.I. Joe figure was in a pack that came with a vehicle that was being called the Rattler 4W, which was basically the Cobra Vamp, but I'm guessing they couldn't use the name. And she was just a recolor of the Jinx figure, and this is back with the O-ring figures. Her real name at that point was Anne A. Conda. Yes, the play on words. She was born in New Orleans, but was raised in the swamps of Louisiana. She considered joining the military, but thought they were basically a bunch of pansies, and joined Cobra instead, because she has a violent nature. So let's go ahead and finish taking her out of the box. Her box is another one of those ones that takes the artwork from the package and puts it in the back in a black and white formation. Looks really nice in my opinion. I do like that. So she does use the same basic body as the Cobra Blue Ninja, with some changes made to it. The most notable one being she's got new arms, which actually, ironically enough, look like they are actually Zorana's arms for the most part. Yeah, actually they are Zorana's arms, although the hands themselves are not. Or are they? Let's get out Zorana real quick and take a look, shall we? Yeah, actually, she straight out is using Zorana's arms and hands. I wonder if a bunch of people complained about the Blue Ninja not being as articulated as the other Joe figures were. I hope her arm stays in better than Zorana's did. But yeah, so we have the Python Patrol logo here on her bicep. Other than that, though, again, we're pretty much back to the same bodies, same head sculpt. They did extra paint, though, here on the neckline. The legs are the same. The belts almost look like the skirt almost looks like it might be different, but I think it's just the way that the tie was glued onto it. I think this one's actually not centered properly. That's okay. She's got some Python Patrol coloring. Articulation wise, she has a hinge joint in her neck along with the ball joint at the end. Her neck at the base also swivels quite a bit, so you're gonna have to watch that for when you pose her if you want to make sure that she doesn't like have that turned all the way around. Also, her neck looks really long. She can raise her hand up, but both the armor and the soldier pauldron kind of get in the way of raising it all the way up. She does have a butterfly joint in there, though it's hard to move. It's very hard to move it. Double jointed elbows, which are also very stiff on this figure. Hand swivels, and it's got the up and down instead of the in and out for the hinge on the wrist. We've got the torso ball joint that the female figures tend to have, and we have the waist ball joint. Drop down hips as prior. Legs can kick out pretty far, forward and back. Buttocks gets in the way of going too far back unless you spread it out more. We of course got the thigh cut, double jointed knee, front and back hinge, and the little spinny part on the ankle to allow for more, and of course a boot cut down at the bottom. And when you do all that movement, you're now stuck with trying to figure out what part goes in the front. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at her equipment next. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like the way this one turned out. I think I would have been super disappointed if she didn't have the new arms though, because I mean, when I saw the Blue Ninja and realized that she didn't have the double jointed elbows, that was really disappointing. Get her equipment out. So let's start with this beauty. This would be the skull mask she has. Kind of looks like there's supposed to be like probably some optical cameras for targeting, especially when you looked at the package where it kind of showed the eyes. To me, it kind of looks like they're supposed to have like some targeting stuff there. And being that they do give her a bow to use, that makes sense. And kind of going along with the way they do the hair now, instead of giving us a second head, they just give us a mask that fits over the head. So instead of that, let me get that. Still looks pretty good though on her. I like it. She comes with a pair of swords. I am thinking that with the snakeheads here, I'm wondering if they are Storm Shadow swords, but I haven't actually opened a Storm Shadow yet. And I'm pretty sure this is his, well, yeah, this is most likely his backpack because it's got the Aragakashi logo on it. And I wonder if this version of her is supposed to be part of that family. Now we can put the swords in place like so. She does come with the compound bow, which was one of Storm Shadow's weapons. And she comes with an arrow that's separate from the quiver, which will fit in the quiver, but also comes out. The bow is also designed to be attached to said quiver. The bow is designed to be attached to the quiver, but I think this bow needs to be heat treated because it is kind of warped. That's a shame. The arrow can also be fitted into this slot here, so that way you can actually make it look like she is getting ready to use the bow. See if we can actually get it in her hand though without damaging anything. This is that moment when I have to sit there and think. Oh, Fortunately, like, it's too bad this isn't designed a little bit better so that you could actually pull back the cord a bit. But so you can't really have her firing, but you can have it look like she's getting ready to, like so. We can fit the backpack on her, maybe. It's one of the irritating things with the new G.I. Joe Classified series is lining up the armor hole with the actual hole in the back of the figure to get the equipment in position. It is possible that these swords are actually unique to her, but to be perfectly honest, considering nothing else is except for the helmet, I doubt they are. But she looks cool. I definitely need to find a Storm Shadow to open up. You know, Ollie's keeps on showing a picture of Storm Shadow as one of the G.I. Joe Classified figures that are on sale there, but good luck finding them. The only ones I've seen at Ollie's, aside from a Lady J, is basically just the Snake Eyes movie ones. But definitely, as far as the reuse goes, I think this is actually a really well done figure. The color scheme is great. I like the kind of burgundy color with the kind of like darker than charcoal gray. It's not quite doesn't look quite black to me, but really close to it. She's actually got pretty fair amount of detail in her face and her eyes. Got more of a snake look to her eyes, I think, than some of the previous ones. You know, when you looked at the Blue Ninja's eyes, you know, they just made her eyes fully white. But this, you've got some pretty nice detail going on here. Hopefully it's coming through. No, this actually may be one of my favorite female figures that they've put out so far. Even better than the Cobra Valkyries. I would definitely say that this one is definitely is worth the buy. And I do wonder, since this is a Python Patrol figure, if they will go ahead and release a standard version, because the one that came in the 80s, you know, as the recolor, or I guess 90s was when it came out. Though as the recolor of Jinx was more of a kind of a black and gray camouflage look to it. Also, it would have been kind of cool if they've given her actually a real head, or I should say not real head, but an unmasked face to go with it, since she is a named character instead of just like random Cobra troopers or you know the Blue Ninjas. You know, you can have a whole army of Blue Ninjas. Of course, she could also be a you know, maybe she's in charge of the Blue Ninjas. That would also explain, you know, having a skull mask instead of the fox mask. Although, maybe take one of these and paint it black to put on there anyway. Wait, I know your voice. I don't think you do. No, I'm pretty sure I recognize it. Anne, is that you? No, no, I don't know this Anne Conda you speak of. I didn't say a last name. I just said a first name. Uh, uh, um, I, seriously, Anne, why did you join Cobra? Well, you know, I've always been kind of a violent person. That's too bad. I mean, you know, we met each other years ago. I never forgot you. What do you say? Would you like to maybe consider possibly going out with me? I don't know, Nikki. I, I'm not sure. Is that a good idea? You're a Joe and I'm a Cobra? Hey, what can I say? I mean, you absolutely just have been sitting in my heart for a long time. I can't. I'm in charge of the Python Patrol ninjas, and I just I can't. No, wait, come on, and please don't run away. I I'm sorry, Anne. Okay, Nikki, I've changed my mind. I do. I would like to go out with you, Nikki. Oh, Anne, thank you. I've missed you so much. I've missed you too. And would you consider maybe joining G.I. Joe after this? I don't know. I really do enjoy the violence of working for Cobra, but you could always, be violent against Cobra. Hmm, do you have anything else to offer? I have some really good skills with my mouth. Oh, oh. Anyway, that concludes our look at Vypra, action figure from G.I. Joe Classified. It also ends our series of Tunnel Rat's Bad Luck with Women. So, and yeah, I actually took an Akiko head from the Snake Eyes movies to put on there, and I will actually be displaying both variations of her. Maybe I'll actually go ahead and remove the Python Patrol logo from the one, and could also remove the Python patrolling stripes here too, and just have her be a new character. Anyway, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace and love. In case you were wondering, the skull mask will fit over Akiko's head still as well. So that's really kind of a cool little bonus. I don't think it was on purpose. I think it really is just an absolute coincidence. But thanks to the way her hair is designed, it fits pretty well. I really do like this. This variation turns out really nice when you use Akiko's head.